What's going on, everybody? It's James again, and it's been a while since I uploaded a video. I'm very sorry about that. I've been very busy outside of YouTube land, and today I want to do a video on how I got into Shenmue. My origin story with the series, pretty much, and yeah, so here we go. So the day was November 8th, 2000. That day forever has changed my life on terms of video games, philosophy, and pretty much destroyed my expectations for all games to continue. Shenmue really set the bar high as to what I expect from a game. So, year 2000, November 8th, is the day Shenmue came out in North America, which is my region, which North American copies right here. I have two of them only because one of them is the original one I have, which is this one, and another one is a backup copy that is actually signed. Don't know if you can see it too well. Signed by Yu Suzuki, which is pretty awesome. Had him sign that at a convention. And so it pretty much went like this. So year 2000, I was pretty young. Mind you, that was 14 years ago. I was about 10 years old. 24 now, I'll be 25 the end of this month. Getting up there. Quarter of a century old. Anyway, so yeah, back in 2000, I kept seeing, because I had a subscription to the Dreamcast magazine, like way back then, which unfortunately I don't have those magazines anymore. I'm very upset about that. I gave them to a friend of mine, and ever since he has no idea where they went. So I had the entire set of Dreamcast magazines from like issue 5 all the way to the last issue, which was quite sad. So, you know, I kept seeing like freaking game, Shenmue, like in the magazine, and I'm like, holy shit, this game looks amazing. The graphics, like, look amazing, and the story, like what they were writing about was just like, this is the final frontier of video games. So it was always in the back of my head, you know, a little freaking 10-year-old going, I want to play Shenmue, you know. So, November 8th came, and now at the time, my parents always used to take me to my local Blockbuster. Though, you know, if you guys know what that is, because it's pretty much gone now. I think it's actually completely gone. I don't know if they have any more internet presence, but all the stores are just done. So Blockbuster was a place you can go to and rent movies, music, video games, systems, bobbity-blah, skibbity-dop, you know. So, I walked into Blockbuster November 8th, 2000, in East Brunswick, New Jersey on Route 18. If you guys are in the area, that's exactly where I went. And that's where my Shenmue experience started. I walked in and I was renting a copy, I specifically remember, of D2. And I thought it was Dead or Alive 2, because I'm 10 years old, and I'm like, oh, D2 must stand for Dead or Alive 2. No, it does not. Okay, a 10-year-old should not be playing D2. Actually, a 10-year-old should not be playing Dead or Alive 2 either, unless you want that 10-year-old to go through puberty really fast. Ha 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 ha. So, I went up to the counter and I was like, wait a second, do you have Shenmue? And they're like, yes we do. And I was like, oh my god, I gotta play it. So a guy went and grabbed me a copy of Shenmue, despite the fact that I was only 10 years old and I probably shouldn't really be playing a teen-rated game at that age, you know. But, you know, fuck it, who cares? I was watching rated R movies at that time, doesn't matter. So, I took Shenmue home, which, unfortunately, I don't have that copy that I first played, only because it was Blockbuster's copy. I took it home, put it in my Dreamcast, and that's where everything changed. I remember turning it on, so excited as the Dreamcast swirl came up, and then the Shenmue menu came up, and I was like, holy shit, this menu is fucking amazing looking. Like, it's so simple, so clean, the music's amazing. It was like I just opened a gateway to a new realm or some shit. So yeah, so, you know, I got to the fucking menu screen and I hit new game and I was like, alright, cool, let's go. created the save file, and the opening cutscene happened. And I remember watching Ryo walk into his house, into the, the Hazuki residence, and I was just like, damn, this game is so detailed, like, it's amazing. I'm getting so nostalgic even thinking about this. And, he goes in, and Fukusan gets jolted out of the dojo, and Ryo walks in, and I remember the thing that really did it for me was when Paul Lucas, as Lan Di in the English dub, said the line, "Do you remember Jiao Su-ming? That is the name of the man you killed in Moonswung." When I heard that line, it was so bone-chilling. I was like, wow, I actually care about what's going on here. There's that line alone, like, a lot of people will give the Shenmue English dub a lot of shit, but honestly, fuck you. That line for me is what drove me into the series. Like, damn, that was just like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I want to know, So, I got through the entire first part of the game. The introduction, to the point where I talked to Fukusan. I was like, I'm gonna go kill the guy who killed my father, And then when I left the Hazuki residence for the first time, now Happy Console Gamer said this exact same thing, which is kind of interesting. When you leave and you go into Yamanose for the first time, that music that you hear, that free roam music, which actually on the disc I believe is just called 304, I think is the exact track. It's just like, whoa, this feels a little more than just a game. This feels like I just stepped into an alternate reality and my Dreamcast is the gateway to it. And yeah, so holy crap. So that's really what brought me in, was, I was only 10 years old, very fundamental part of a kid's life. That's when you start to really dive into things and, create those fundamental memories that dictate who you are when you grow up. And, fortunately for me, I grew up to be a huge Shenmue fan and a bit of an extremist for Shenmue 3. Much more than you'll see on this YouTube channel, like on forums and Facebook groups and all that. Oh god, it gets really bad sometimes. Anyway, so, what got me into Shenmue was, first off, I got it at Blockbuster. I went through the intro, and the intro just drew me in. But that's not where it ended. Now, getting into Sakuragoka and Dobuita, those two areas really kind of felt like a place to go to. Like, it wasn't just, alright, I'm in this level, let's do what we gotta do and leave. It was like a serious, like, I live here, like, this is where I'm from. That's how real it felt to me. And still to this time, it still does. Like, holy shit, like, I barely take vacations due to the nature of my job and my current financial status. But like, playing Shenmue, like, it generates that anyway. I feel like I'm not home. I feel like I'm in Japan in 1986 in Yokosuka, which, it's most likely a lot different from how Shenmue shows it, because Shenmue is a very, it takes all of Yokosuka, kind of truncates it, and more so in Shenmue 2, but anyway. So, just the environments themselves at such a young age, seeing something like that with no precedent games, and kind of growing up in an isolated world, like, for those of you who don't know, I grew up on a farm in New Jersey, which is, I still live in New Jersey. I moved out back in December, and, 16 acres of property, all woods, no neighbors except for my grandmother, who moved out like 7 years before, I moved out of the farm. Shenmue is what I did. So yeah, Shenmue is like all I did. I would go to school, talk to my friends, go home, play Shenmue, and you can ask any of my friends from that time. Nobody saw me. Unless like it was a birthday or something like that. I was just like, I'm playing Shenmue. You guys go and do your thing. I got to save the world from the Chiyu Men, you know, like 10 years old, I'm on this grand mission, you know. Shenmue was a huge part of my childhood. Like, it's literally all I did. If I were to actually calculate how many hours I played Shenmue for since between 2000 and like 2005, holy shit, like, you're talking like 1,000 hours. Like, that's all I did. Because at a young age, you know, I saw the replay value. I kept seeing things I would never see, you know, on other playthroughs, and like, that's all I did. It's just play Shenmue. Like, I don't care about anything else. Well, yeah, that's not exactly true. Mortal Kombat and Dance Dance Revolution, those are, you know, other games that, you know, I feel almost the same about. Shenmue is always at the top. But, yeah, so the experience that I experienced as a kid resulted from one, the hype behind the game. Now, at a young age, you know, you don't really have that deductive reasoning and all that to judge hype. You just believe. You're just like, wow, it's a great game. Everybody's saying it's awesome. I can't wait for it. And seeing the game in magazines and then actually taking it home and having it deliver on those expectations and not boring the hell out of me and drawing me in with its culture, its lifestyle, you know, and like, I was obsessed with Japan, you know, to begin with at that age anyway, so it was like my way of actually going there, and fuck, man, it just took off from there. Like, it's hard to explain. It just feels like a part of me. And I decided that that's how it felt when I was so young, and it just drew me in, and I've been playing it ever since. Oh, God. You know? That's why I get so upset whenever I talk about Shenmue 3. Oh, God, don't even get me started. There's other videos on this channel for that. We're talking about how Shenmue, you know, how I brought it into my life. So, Shenmue, also I want to make the point, is kind of like a roller coaster for me, on terms of being awesome, and then pissing me off, and then, you know, making me really upset, and then being awesome again. And this is how I describe that. So, Shenmue 1 came out, 2000, came out in 1999 in Japan, but, you know, at such a young age, I wasn't able to import it, despite knowing it was out. Shenmue 1 comes out in the United States, and I get it, I play it, it's amazing. I can never, for the life of me, beat the final battle with Chai. You know, at the end of the game, where you're at the harbor, you have to fight Chai before, like, the final cutscene. And I could never, ever beat that. Oh, and also, I could never beat the goddamn motorcycle part. Oh my God, it used to piss me off so much. I could never get there before the timer ran out. But, you know, it's whatever. Nowadays, like, I don't even have to play it. Like, I'll just hack the game, just be like, you know? Or I'll just load a save file, or I'll just play through it, you know, just whatever. I could never beat it, so like, every time I rented it from Blockbuster, I was just like, God damn it, you know, fuck! Because they would only let you rent it for like 5 days, so like, I had 5 days to beat it. I used to call it a school and everything, just to play Shenmue. And Morrowind, but that'll be another video series. So yeah, that used to make me really mad. Then I finally beat it. Now, this is where it gets a little personal, and one other person who can really relate with me on this is Adam Koralik, who's mentioned this in his videos many times. So, I'm sure you all know this already, but Shenmue 2 was supposed to be a Dreamcast game. Now, us in North America, there's a good reason why you wouldn't know that. Shenmue 2 was made on the Dreamcast in Japan and in Europe, which actually I will show you. Alright, so this is Shenmue 2 on the Dreamcast. Don't know if you see that too well. Excuse me, I'll just set that down. Shenmue 2 for the United States was cancelled. And that was all because of this asshole named Peter Moore. Well, you know, I mean, you could place the blame on him, but there's probably more people involved because it was a big business decision. And Peter Moore brought it over to the Xbox, so that period of time that we didn't know about the Xbox version of Shenmue 2 in the United States, I was just sitting there like, oh my god, I cannot finish this game. Because Shenmue 2 is not coming out in the United States. What the fuck? What the fuck? Like, my little mind, because I was maybe like, let's see, I was 10 when the game came out. So I guess 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, thinking about Shenmue 2, not 4, although 4 would be fucking awesome. Fuck you, Sega. And, you know, Shenmue 2 never came out to the Dreamcast in the United States, which is very upsetting because the version is very superior to the Xbox version. But we did get the Xbox version, and I was young enough to not give a shit about the whole corporate bullshit that was behind it. Honestly, I didn't even know about it at the time. I didn't know, you know, what was going on, why Shenmue 2 didn't come out, but it came out for the Xbox. I was like, alright, fuck it. So I got an Xbox for Shenmue 2. I didn't give a fuck about anything else. Halo was awesome, though. I love Halo. I still play the original Halo more than anything else first-person shooter-wise. I even have LAN parties still for original Halo. Anyway, so Shenmue 2 came out on the Xbox, and I was like, alright, cool, you know, it's on the Xbox. Really wanted it on the Dreamcast. So, unfortunately, that roller coaster of emotions left kind of a negative stain on me. But, you know, it all resolved itself. Now we have hacked versions of Shenmue 2 on the Dreamcast with English voices. There's also the, you know, the PAL version with the English subtitles. However, I don't even own the PAL version because I feel like, I don't know, like, I'm very weird about, how should I say, very weird about Shenmue 2 because the Japanese version of Shenmue 2, you can honestly consider it like the uncut version because Yuan is actually a cross-dresser in the Japanese version, and they censored that for the European and the Xbox release. They changed her into a woman, which I'm just like, why? Like, I guess it was so controversial at the time. You know, nowadays they'd be like, ah, fuck it. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm getting a little off topic. So, to sum it up, what brought me into Shenmue was I rented it at a young age after seeing it for so long. And it was such an instant classic in my mind because with the current situation going on in my life, the fact that I was very isolated from the rest of the world, and, you know, because I was so young and I had, like, no neighbors, and, I mean, I had a lot of friends in school. I still talked to most of them. So it wasn't like I was antisocial or anything. I just, you know, I didn't care. I just wanted to go to my room and play Shenmue. But, yeah, so that's really about it. Plus, my farm kind of looks like Guilin, so when I got into Shenmue 2 and got to the end, I was like, I went to Japan and I'm home! Alright, so anyways, I was saying, where I grew up kind of looks like Guilin. There's a video on my channel, where you can see, you know, where I grew up. However, that video does not do justice at all, for what it used to look like. Because I have a lot of wood surrounding my house, and there's trails behind it, and, you know, I could go for a run and pretend I'm doing a QTE, you know, while playing the music in my headphones, but, yeah, that's probably not something I should really talk about, 'cause that's a little much. So, yeah, so, that's really it. That's how I got into Shenmue. I was just so young, and, you know, I just fell in love with the game at a very young age, and kept with it ever since, and now, you know, it's grown into such an awesome community, and I love you guys, you know, Shenmue 500K, and Shenmue Dojo, and Shenmue Master, you know, like, we're getting Shenmue 3, and it's because of those communities, like, it has to happen, you know, like, there's just no reason why it shouldn't, except for the whole financial problem, but, yeah, anyway, so that's really it, so I might as well do a channel update as well, so what's going on. I'm actually making a new YouTube channel with my friend Rob, and that's going to be called the Tri-State Gamers. We're still working on that. We filmed an intro, and now we're just kind of gathering together the logistics of the channel and how we want to do everything, the channel art, and how we're going to promote it with a, you know, through a partner. It will be a monetized channel. Yeah, and other than that, I'm still going to be doing Shenmue videos here, because, you know, why not? I love this series. I keep wanting to making videos, you know. So, yeah, on this channel specifically, I plan to do a Let's Play of Shenmue 1. I'm gonna try to do it in high definition, but I'm having issues with my hardware when I run it in high def on like null DC, because running it in null DC and then capturing the footage, for some reason it drops the frame rate to a ridiculous point, and the audio just gets all weird in the game. You start hearing like weird duplication and whatnot. So yeah, I'm working on that now. That will be on this channel. Yep. Playthrough of Shenmue in HD. Not Shenmue HD. Totally different story. So yeah, that's really about it. So I guess now you know how I like Shenmue. And as always, have a nice day.